Hi, this is Nathan Lehman with the Ultra Running Company, and we are here to talk about the Hoka One Stinson 5. Really excited. I'm actually shocked that we haven't done a review on the Stinson 4. If you were looking for a review on the Stinson 4, just watch this because we'll get to it. First of all, let's kind of cover what this is in the Ultra Running Company's categorization. The Stinson is a maximally cushioned, a comfort cushioned, low drop trail running shoe. Hoka advertises this as a ATR shoe. This falls into their all-terrain category, which means that Hoka says this can be used on the road or on the trail. While technically true, we've got a pretty heavy, pretty aggressive shoe here that, while comfortable on the road, is, in our opinion, probably left best to kicking around the office, walking through malls, or tackling some of the toughest trails on earth. So let's get right to the specifics. This is the most cushioned shoe that Hoka makes at this point. It has 37 millimeters of cushion in the heel compared to 32 in the front, which means it has a 5 millimeter drop. The drop being the amount of offset, the heel to toe offset, the amount of cushion under your metatarsals, so right where your toes bend, basically right here, to the amount of cushion underneath the heel. So 32 to 37 means it's a 5 millimeter drop down. As with every Hoka, one of the really interesting features is that since there's so much cushion, they actually take a lot of that cushion away on the toe, in the toe area, and put in what they call a rocker. So it really, you land on that 5 millimeter drop and then really roll off, and you can feel that it kind of pops you forward. The reason for that is you want to have less cushion under your toes so that when you push off, you really get to use that power from your big toe. So the rocker is both useful and an efficient marketing tool for them. This is kind of the prototypical Hoka soft cushion. It's almost a pillowy feel. We always used to compare it to stepping on a Tempur-Pedic pillow. You sit down, you sink down, and then you pop back up. It really is like walking on a cloud or something like that, to mirror some marketing terms. You really do have to put this shoe on to understand just how much cushion there is in it. It's a traditional EVA type cushion. Despite the fact that there are two colors here, it is a single density cushion, so there's no harder rubber on the bottom, softer rubber on the top. It's all the same compressed EVA sole. So basically they take a bunch of cushion, compress it down, put it in the shape they want it, and go to town. Everything that you see here in the light green is a hard wearing, what we call a carbon tread. And that means that it's a much longer wearing, much more durable cushion. The orange portion of it, this is a very soft, it's basically the cushion here. It's not basically, it is the cushion here on the side. So it just goes through. So it's not uncommon to see this portion of the shoe in more aggressive trails really get kind of beat up. You don't have to worry about that. You're getting all your cushion, you're getting all your protection from this harder wearing rubber. Gives you great grip and traction up in front. Keeps that great grip and traction on the side, so this becomes kind of superfluous. What it does do is having this much cushion really eliminates the need for any type of rock plate or stone protection in a shoe. So you're not going to find a Hoka that has a shaft of plastic going through it to protect you from rocks and sticks and protruding stumps. That just happens as a function of the shoe itself. This is what you think of when you think of a Hoka, if you still think of what Hoka was 5 years ago. The Stinson is one of their first shoes. It was what made their reputation, and they've really worked hard to keep it that way. Moving to the upper, we're going to go to one of the bigger deals about the Stinson. The Stinson, original Stinson had it, the Stinson Evo, the Stinson Trail, the Stinson, everything that they called it, ATR, all the way up through the Stinson 3. had a nice wider toe area right here, very voluminous, and it allowed the majority of feet to fit into the shoe. The Stinson 3 became a very narrow shoe and fit far fewer feet. So if your only experience has been with the Stinson 3, I definitely urge you to give the Stinson 5 a shot. It's a very, very different feel. Harkens more back to the original Stinsons when Hoka came out. So what we see with the Stinson as far as foot shape, you can see it from the bottom, relatively normal foot shape here. I would go so far as to say almost narrow in the back, really opens up to a wider toe box, very accommodating for a large number of feet, and then it does taper in a little bit, but not to the extent that most Hokas do. So this is the least tapered Hoka that you'll find. So definitely fits a lot of feet, very, very comfortable. I consider this a fantastic shoe for the end of a long run. When your feet have expanded due to being on your feet for so long and running, this shoe just really accommodates that. So whether you wear it through the whole run, whether you wear it on your longest days, or whether you change into this shoe late in a long race, this is really a go-to shoe as far as that's concerned. The way the upper is made, you've got some breathable fabric right through here. It allows water to go out, it allows sweat to go out, and then you've got a lot of overlays on this shoe, and particularly a lot of overlays throughout. So you can see where up here you're providing protection for stones, rocks, sticks, that sort of thing. Back here you're providing just a little bit of structure for the shoe where these overlays come up and provide that protection. So this is a more structured shoe than some. You're not going to get a lot of bending in it, but it does tend to fit the foot very well. Snug here, and wide open here. So really a nice shoe. Price point on this shoe is $160. It's one of the most expensive Hokas on the market right now, and a lot of that is just purely a function of how much cushion is on the shoe. It's their most cushioned shoe. It's at $160. You're going to get a lot of life out of this. This is a shoe where if I traditionally get 400 or 500 miles out of a shoe, I might get 600 or 700 miles out of this shoe, just because there's so much cushion on it, and because this tread rubber is so significant. I brought along here the Stinson 4, and what you're going to see is that the bottoms of these shoes are exactly the same. The sides of the shoes, the profile and the cushion, exactly the same. Where it differentiates between the Stinson 4 to the Stinson 5 is really the elimination of some of these stitched portions on the upper. So theoretically, that should take out some weight, and it should take out some places where you might get irritated by that little stitching on it. They've shifted some of these pieces going up the side, ideally I guess to provide some more structure where they think they need it. Here's the challenge that I have. The weight on this Stinson 5 for women, size 7, is 9.9 ounces. That's a lot. The men's version of it in a size 9 is 12.1, and when I get up to my size 13 flippers, this thing's coming in at basically a pound, 16 ounces. That's a lot of weight on a shoe. And it's actually almost, well, it's well over half an ounce more than the Stinson 4. I'm not sure where that weight comes from, why it's there. It's not in the structure of the cushion, so it must be in the way that they've developed the upper. Perhaps this is a heavier material here, and they felt like they needed that for durability. But when you're looking at 0.8 of an ounce for a size 13, you're looking at a pretty significant amount of weight that's been added to this shoe. So really be sure you take that into account. In my estimation, you're gonna get good life out of both shoes. They're both fantastic, but if I could save 0.8 of an ounce, I'd probably do it. Take a look around, make sure you can find what you want to find. 16 ounces is about as much as I'd wear. Now, what that means is that this shoe is eliminated from any short runs for me. It's not a shoe that I'd wear in a 5K, a 10K, half marathon. Once I got up to the marathon and higher distance, I might start considering it, just because over that period of time, all this cushion takes away some of the banging on my body. But if I could do the same thing and have it weigh 0.8 of an ounce less, I'd probably make that choice as well. So bottom line, great shoe. Love to wear it. Also love to wear this Stinson 4. And so take a look around, see what you can find. Probably a couple deals on this one. If you can't find any more deals on this one, you're getting a great shoe in the Stinson 5. Just it's gonna weigh a little bit more for you. So come on in, come into our store or your local running store, give them a shot, see how they feel. I promise if you've never been in a Hoka before, this is a game changer. And don't be too discouraged by the incremental weight. Just see if the overall weight is something that you're interested in having on your feet. Certainly for the shorter distances for us, that makes this a pretty tough choice. For the longer distances, as I said, this is almost a go-to shoe for me. So as always, weigh your options, check them out, check us out, and learn to love to run. Thanks for being here.